Kept the porch light burning till past 2. The kind of habit built by loving you. Every car that slowed I thought might be the one that brings you back to me. But the streets stayed quiet and the night stayed long, and I finally learned where I went wrong. You weren't running late, you were just gone. And I stood at the window like a fool in the dark, holding on to nothing but the ache in my heart, waiting for headlights that were never coming back. This is the last light I left on for you. The last night I stayed up hoping you'd come through. The last time I let the darkness feel like maybe. The last time I called myself your baby. This is the last light I left on. The last light I left on for you. The neighbors must have noticed by now a silhouette that never figured out how to stop watching doors, stop checking the drive, stop living like you're still a part of my life. I made your favorite meal and let it go cold, wrapped it up in silence, wrapped it up and let go. And I turned off the kitchen and stood in the hall, read every old message till I'd read them all, waiting for a heartbeat that was never coming back. This is the last light I left on for you. The last night I stayed up hoping you'd come through. The last time I let the darkness feel like maybe. The last time I called myself your baby. This is the last light I left on. The last light I left on for you. Tomorrow I'll stop, tomorrow I'll sleep, tomorrow the porch light won't cost me a thing. But tonight I'm still standing where love used to live, with the last little light that I have left to give. The last light I left on for you, still burning, still burning, still burning for you. We didn't have a funeral for us. No one wore black, no one made a fuss. But something died between October and May, and I've been grieving it every single day. There's no headstone marking where we fell apart, no congregation mourning what we lost. Just me in a quiet room with a quiet heart, counting up the years and counting up the cost. Because how do you mourn a love that's still alive somewhere, walking around in someone else's air? How do you bury something with no grave to find? I'm bringing flowers for a grave we never dug, for a love we lost before we could say goodbye. I'm bringing didn't get a chance to die right. Flowers for a grave we never dug, still mourning something no one else can see. Flowers for the love that lived between us. Flowers for the you that used to be with me. That used to be with me. People ask me how I'm doing, and I say that I'm getting there, that I'm finding my way. But getting there requires knowing where to go, and I'm still standing at the place you let me know that you were leaving. Not with anger, not with fire, just with silence, just with slowly closing every door and calling it desire. Because how do you explain a loss nobody witnessed? How do you grieve out loud without a reason given? How do you let go of something still in motion? I'm bringing flowers for a grave we never dug, for a love we lost before we could say goodbye. I'm bringing everything we were, like petals to the dirt, for the us that didn't get a chance to die right. Flowers for a grave we never dug, still mourning something no one else can see. Flowers for the love that lived between us. Flowers for the you that used to be with me. Maybe grief doesn't need a ceremony, maybe love doesn't need a burial ground. Maybe I can mourn you in the in-between spaces, in the silence between every sound. Flowers for a grave, flowers for the love, flowers for the quiet that came after us. Flowers, just flowers, just flowers for you. There's a song on the radio we used to love. It came on while I was washing up. I turned it off before the chorus hit, because some memories still don't fit inside the person I'm trying to be, since the person I was belonged to we. So I stood there in the silence with my hands still wet, trying to forget what I can't forget. And the kitchen felt enormous, and the evening felt unkind, and I danced a little anyway, just to prove that I was fine. I'm dancing alone at the kitchen sink, more out of habit than anything, moving to a song that only plays inside my head, the one you hummed while making breakfast in our bed. I'm dancing alone at the kitchen sink, pretending that the loneliness is something I can fix by moving through the motions, by turning up the sound. I'm dancing alone, and the whole world keeps spinning around. I learned to cook the things you like, because the recipes are still in my hands. The measurements, the temperatures, the way you taste and then demand a little more of this, a little less of that. You always knew exactly what it lacked. I still cook the same way every time, feeding ghost on everything that's mine. And the table's only set for one, but my hand's still set for two. I catch myself correcting it, the way I still correct for you. I'm dancing alone at the kitchen sink, kitchen sink, pretending that the loneliness is something I can fix by moving through the motions, by turning up the sound. I'm dancing alone, and the whole world keeps spinning around. Some nights it's beautiful in a broken kind of way, to hold yourself together through the ordinary days, to find a little rhythm in the rubble of it all, to dance a little even when there's no one left to call. Dancing alone, dancing alone, kitchen sink, radio on. Dancing alone, dancing alone, still moving even though you're gone.
I wake up at midnight without a reason, the kind of waking that is no alarm, just a body that remembers the old habit of reaching across and finding your arm. For half a second I almost do it, half a second of sleep-warm grace, then the ceiling comes into focus and I remember your side of the space. That's the cruelest part of losing someone, not the waking up and knowing they're gone, but the half a second before you remember when love is still alive and still warm. Midnight, without a reason. Midnight, without a name. Midnight, in the middle of a season that keeps arriving just the same. I count the hours on the ceiling, I count the ways I got it wrong. Midnight, without a reason, it's the loneliest kind alone. The loneliest kind alone. By 1 o'clock I've thought of everything, the first hello, the last goodbye, the thousand ordinary moments in between that I mistook for infinite time. By 2 o'clock I've forgiven myself, or something close enough to rest. By 3 I'm somewhere between sleeping and holding on to what I thought was best. That's the cruelest part of loving deeply, not the losing but the residue, the way the body keeps the schedule of a life it used to live with you. Midnight, without a reason. Midnight, without a name. Midnight, in the middle of a season that keeps arriving just the same. I count the hours on the ceiling, I count the ways I got it wrong. Midnight, without a reason, it's the loneliest kind alone. 4 a.m. is when it softens. 4 a.m. the mind folded in the drawer beneath the rest. Not hidden, just forgotten to give back. It's navy blue and worn soft at the neck, and smells like nothing now, but I remember that. It smells like winter walks in your apartment. It smells like Sunday mornings made of ease. I've washed it once and almost lost it, and pulled it from the drum on my knees. I tell myself it's just a sweater. I tell myself it's just a thing, but every drawer I open reminds me what ordinary objects mean. The sweater I should have returned sits folded like a quiet apology. The sweater I should have returned still carries the shape of who we used to be. I could mail it, I could drop it, I could leave it at your door. I could finally close the chapter that I've been reading over and over. But the sweater stays in the drawer. The sweater stays. My friend said let it go, just throw it out. She doesn't understand the mathematics of doubt. How every object tied to someone loved becomes a contract you can't rise above. Not yet, at least. Not when the ending still feels new. Not when the sweater still feels like you. I tell myself I'll deal with it in spring. I told myself the same thing about everything. The mug, the book, the playlist on my phone, the sweater in the drawer, and the feeling of alone. The sweater I should have returned sits folded like a quiet apology. The sweater I should have returned still carries the shape of who we used to be. I could nail it, I could drop it, I could leave it at your door. I could finally close the chapter that I've been reading over and over. But the sweater stays in the drawer. The sweater stays. The sweater stays. Maybe keeping it is honest. Maybe keeping it is true. Maybe some things stay in drawers because the love still has nowhere to move. And maybe that's okay for now, just for now. The sweater stays. The sweater stays. Still navy blue, still soft, still yours. The sweater stays.
I scroll back to the very beginning, to where we were just two names on a screen. Before the in-jokes, before the shorthand, before the love, before the in-between. You sent me my sinner laughing face. We didn't know yet what this would become. Two strangers trading small and careful signals, not knowing what they'd add up to, not knowing what they'd add up from. And I read it like a story with the bad ending that I already know but can't put down. I read it like a speech for someone leaving. I read it like a eulogy for us. okay. Rest in peace to every I love you. Sent on some unremarkable, now unforgettable day. There's a message where you said you love me always, 3 months before the always reached its end. And I don't think you lied when you were saying it. Some truths just have a shorter life than we intend. I'm not angry at the you who wrote that. I'm not angry at the love you felt back then. I'm just sitting in the ruin of the always, reading all the ways we almost reached the end. And I read it like a history of something that deserved more than it finally got. I read it like a letter to the living, from the version of myself who almost forgot. Reading old texts like a eulogy, every word a little monument to what we used to be. Reading old texts like a eulogy, all the love that typed itself and now sits silently. Rest in peace to every good morning. Rest in peace to every are you okay. Rest in peace to every I love you. Sent on some unremarkable, now unforgettable day. I should close the app, I should put the phone face down. I should sleep before the sun comes up and turns us into sound. But I keep scrolling to the part where we were new and unafraid, before the text became a eulogy, before the love became a grave. Rest in peace, rest in peace to every word we meant. Rest in peace to every text we never should have sent, and all the ones we should have.
I used to love this radio. Now every station stings, because somewhere between the verses I hear the shape of things that we were and weren't anymore. I hear the shape of every door that closed the week you left, without a final word. I tried switching genres, I tried instrumental only, but even the silence between the notes sounds hopelessly lonely. Every song sounds like goodbye now, every melody a place we used to be. Every chorus hits like something I should cry about. Every lyric written just for me to barely breathe. I used to run to music when the world got hard. Now the music is the hardest part. Every song sounds like goodbye. Every song sounds like you. The playlist that we built together still lives inside my phone. I haven't touched it since November. I don't listen to it alone, but sometimes it auto-plays at midnight and I let it run its course, sitting in the dark, receiving every note like it was Morse code for come back, come back, come back. I tried skipping all the slow ones, I tried only upbeat things, but even happy songs remind me of the happy that we lived in spring. Every song sounds like goodbye now, every melody a place we used to be. Every chorus hits like something I should cry about. Every lyric written just for me
music is the hardest part. Every song sounds like goodbye. Every song sounds like you. One day I'll make new memories with music I don't know yet. Songs that don't belong to us, songs I haven't heard to regret. One day the radio will just be radio, and love will just be love again. But tonight, every station plays the sound of our end. Every song sounds like goodbye. Every note, every word still sounds like you.
We had a way of sitting at the table. You faced the window, I faced the wall. I used to think I got the lesser view, until you left and took the view with you. Now I sit on your side sometimes, just to see what you were looking at. The street, the oak tree, the passing lives of all the people going somewhere and coming back. And I understand now why you always seemed a little far away, a little in between. The world outside was calling through the glass, and maybe I was holding you too fast. I sit in the chair that faces your side, where you used to look out while I sat inside. I see where you saw the oak in the street, the whole moving world at the end of our street. And I get it now, I finally get it now, why you needed more than I knew how. I sit in the chair that faces your side, and I finally see what you saw every time. Your coffee ring is still there on the wood. I traced around it with my fingertip. The way a person traces what is gone, not to bring it back, but just to feel the lip of what was real, what was here, what was ours, before the table became mine, and the hours became ours, with no one facing me. And I understand now, in a way that costs, that some loves end not from too little, but from two people wanting different things from the same ordinary window. I sit in the chair that faces your side, where you used to look out while I sat inside. I see where you saw the oak in the street, the whole moving world at the end of our street. And I get it now, I finally get it now, why you needed more than I knew how. I sit in the chair that faces your side, and I finally see what you saw every time. What you saw every time. Maybe love is just two people looking in different directions, and hoping the world they each are seeing has some kind of intersection. Maybe we just ran out of overlap. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's all it was. I sit in your chair, I see your view, I finally see what was pulling you. The oak tree is still there, the street still moves, and I'm still here.
seeing you.
Sunday used to mean your side of the couch, coffee going cold, the paper spread between us. Now Sunday is the longest day, I know. 8 hours of silence in the ceiling as my witness. I count the cars that pass below the window, one for each hour. I convince myself I'm fine. The red ones for the anger I've been burying, the white ones for the peace I can't find. 22 cars by noon, 40 by the afternoon. Not enough to fill the quiet, never quiet enough. I'm counting cars on a Sunday, counting anything to keep my mind from you. Counting cars on a Sunday, counting every color, every shape passing through. Because if I stop counting, I start feeling, and feeling is a road I can't survive right now. So I count the cars on a Sunday, and I wonder how you spend yours, and I wonder how. I made the coffee wrong again this morning. I always make it wrong without you here. You had a way of getting in exactly the kind of ride I took for 7 years. 7 years of Sundays, 7 years of slow, 7 years of building something ordinary that I didn't know was everything until it let me go. 48 cars by 361 by half past the afternoon. Not enough to fill the space you left, not even close to enough. I'm counting cars on a Sunday, counting anything to keep my mind from you. Counting cars on a Sunday, counting every color, every shape passing through. Because if I stop counting, I start feeling, and feeling is a road I can't survive right now. So I count the cars on a Sunday, and I wonder how you spend yours, and I wonder how. By evening the street empties out, the families come home, and the quiet gets loud, and I run out of cars to count, and I have nothing left but the feeling I was running from all day. Counting cars, counting Sundays, counting all the ways I used to not be this alone. Counting cars, counting Sundays, counting everything except my way back home. In my dreams we're still together, in the apartment on the hill, where the radiator clanged all winter, and we learned to love the noise until it felt like company, it felt like home, it felt like everything
everything I didn't know I needed until now. When the dreams end and I'm alone, and I wake up reaching and I wake up wrong, and the dream dissolves like it was never that strong. But it was, it always is. I still dream in we, first person plural, still and always. I still wake and I, first person singular, quietly amazed that somewhere in my sleeping mind you're still beside me, and the love is still alive. I still dream and weep and wake and I, every single night. In my dreams we argue sometimes too, the way that couples do about the small things. Who left the window open in the rain? Who forgot to call? Who left the feelings unaddressed? And in the dream I always think we'll work it out like we always did. But then the waking comes and there's no working out. There's only what we did. And I wake up reaching and I wake up wrong, and the love I dreamed was never quite as gone as the morning makes it feel. I still dream in we, first person plural, still and always. I still wake and I, first person singular, quietly amazed that somewhere in my sleeping mind you're still beside me, and the love is still alive. I still dream and weep and wake and night, every single night. Maybe the dreaming is kindness, maybe the mind knows what the heart needs. A few hours every evening of the love that used to be. Maybe the waking is the lesson, learning I from we again. One night at a time, one dream at a time, one morning at a time, until the eye feels like enough. I still dream in we, still dream in we, still waking. I still